You're listening to Bark and Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk. Each week, your host, Polly Requa, interviews veterinarians and individuals in the pet industry from across the nation answering pet questions. Bark and Wag podcast is produced weekly for your enjoyment, and show notes can be found at barkandwag.com under the podcast tab. That's BARKNWAG.com. Please remember to subscribe to Bark and Wag 15-Minute Vet Talk.
Thank you for listening to Bark and Wag 15-Minute Vet Talk. Bark and Wag is dedicated to protecting our dogs through advocacy, education, and supporting like-minded dog lovers by selling custom pet products. Bark and Wag is excited to announce our new partnership with a Colorado hemp farm to produce a line of CBD products for your pets. Bark and Wag has CBD pet tincture available in 300, 750, 1200, and 2400 milligrams. Bark and Wag CBD is pet safe, no THC, it's made in the USA, and is CO2 extracted. Please check out Bark and Wag's website, barkandwag.com. That is BARK, to see our line of CBD and awesome merchandise. We love pooch ideas for podcasts and merchandise, so anytime send an email to Polly at barkandwag.com with your suggestions.
Welcome to Bark and Wag 15-Minute Vet Talk. I'm your host, Polly Requa. Today we're talking to Steve, president of Pug Rescue of Northern California. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, Polly, for having me
thanks
today.
for coming back on the podcast. If people missed the first podcast, can you tell us a little bit about Pug Rescue of Northern California?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Thank you. We were established in 1996, so we're celebrating 28 years this year. We rescue pug and pug mixes in the Northern California area. We go to the border of Oregon, and we've even gone into Washington State, and we go to the Nevada border. And we rescue to the Nevada border, which is Reno, Carson City, Gardnerville, and that area.
Well, that's wonderful. You certainly wear a cape, and this house are big pug people and pug fanatics. In fact, my children have told me that I no longer can buy any more pug products.
Yeah, I saw your pug.
Yeah, so I will walk into any store, and if it is a pug, I will buy it. It's so ridiculous. My office is just filled with pug stuff.
Oh, yeah. My office at home, too, is the same way.
So I wanted to have you back because I understand you have a pug in need. And I wanted you to tell the listeners about the situation and see if we can use this podcast to help the Pug Rescue of Northern California out with this pug and other pugs that are in need.
Great. I appreciate that. Yeah, we have a 1-year-old fawn female. She's beautiful, like all pugs, but she was surrendered about 3 weeks ago, and we were told she's in good health. And about 2 weeks after we had her, she started having head tremors and some seizures. And I'm thinking, oh no, what's going on? So we took her to our vet, which is Bishop Ranch Veterinary Hospital in San Ramon, California, and they ran some tests, and we found out that this poor sweet baby Coco has a liver shunt.
Yeah, what is that?
Some pugs, a liver shunt is where a vein that's supposed to go through the liver that filters the blood is on the outside, and it's not filtering the blood correctly.
So what do they do with that?
So, well, they go in. I mean, there's several, veins that go into the liver, but this one is bypassing it. So all the toxins are going right back into her body. So she's very skinny. She's throwing up. She has seizures. We can't put any weight on her. And like I said, we had her for 2 weeks, and we're thinking the foster's feeding her like 3-4 times a day to try to put a little bit of weight on her. And it gradually, where she started having the tremors and then throwing up and then loose stools.
Poor thing.
So, she's on meds right now, but those meds will only help for so long. She's on like 4 different meds right now. One of them it's called lactose. You squirt it in their mouth, and what it does, it kind of helps dilute all the acids that are going through her body. But again, that only works for so long. She has to have this surgery, and it's estimated to be between $8,000 to about $12,000.
And will it save her?
It's not 100% guaranteed. Our rescue, we have done in 10 years that I've been with the rescue, we've probably done about 10, and all of them have been successful. We did one about 6 months ago, and I was actually fostering this little black pug named Adele. And after her surgery, she had major complications, and we thought we were going to lose her, but we didn't. We spent a lot of money, saving her life, and now she's totally healthy and living the life of Riley.
Oh, that's awesome. So is this, I didn't know about this. Is this a common occurrence in all dogs or just pugs, or?
It happens in small breeds mostly, but again, for the breeders out there, I'm not bashing them. But with that said, there are some breeders that are well known that know that they have this birth defect and they continue to breed.
Oh, it's genetic?
It is, yes.
Oh, wow, that's horrible.
From what I've been told by our veterinarians, it is genetic. I've reached out to some of those breeders and it's gone on deaf ears. But again, that's what we're here for. We're here to help the breed and we love so much.
Well, that's wonderful. So tell the listeners how they can help. Do you have, can we donate via?
Yeah, so on our website, which is www.pugpros.org, there is a donation tab. You can donate. We also have hospice pugs that are senior pugs that are really not adoptable due to medical costs, medical expenses. Most of them are seniors, and there's a donation tab to sponsor. You can sponsor a pug for $5 a month. That will greatly help. If we get 1 or 2 a week, and if we even pick up a few from this podcast, it will help greatly with, and you can put a time frame on those donations, and anything will help.
That's wonderful. And you're on all social media, Instagram and Facebook?
Yes.
And so it's pugpros.org is the website.
Correct.
Well, this is wonderful. Well, hopefully we will. How is the fundraising going for the pug in need?
So we've collected a couple $1,000s, but again, her vet bills are going to be between $8,000 and $12,000, just depending. And it's all when they get in there, then it just depends how long it's going to take.
And I'll put the information in the show notes as well, and so that with the donor links, so to make it easy for my listeners to donate. And
I always ask, the listeners, if you can't, share our information on your Facebook, Instagram, just to help us spread the word. There are a lot of pug lovers out there, and I know we can't save all of them, but if we can all get together as a team or a group and share this information throughout social media, it would be very helpful.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you for all the information and being on the podcast, and we look forward to having you back.
Thank you, Polly. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for listening to Bark and Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk. If you like what you just heard, we hope you'll pass along our web address, www.barkandwag.com, to your friends and other pet owners. Have a pressing question for a veterinarian? Ask your question at barkandwag.com under the podcast tab. This has been a KFR production. Join us next time for another edition of Bark and Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk.